Hello.
Hi, honey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I love your little angel hanging in the background.
Thank you. You
Aha,
got that for me years ago.
Hi, Todd. Hi, George. Hi, Rossi. Hi, Lanny. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Alan. Hi,
Hello.
Hey, Adrian.
It's Lanny. Hey,
Howdy.
everything's taken care of, Marianne.
Woohoo! All right.
Got that done today.
You what?
Thank you. Got the ticket. Thank you.
Oh, good, good, good. Oh, perfect. Oop, I'm getting a quick call here. Let me take this, and I'll be right back.
Welcome, Tamara. I see you there. Hey, Peggy, honey. Daniel and Rose are here. Hello, hello. Doug Coe is here.
Hello.
Welcome.
Bob in Oregon.
Hey, Bob, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I'm just checking on Mr. Tom. Should be here any minute. Who else we have on here? Oh my gosh.
Jill McGroarty is here.
What's that?
Jill McGroarty is here. She just waved. Yeah.
Oh, Jill. Hey, Jill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, who's going to GoPro? How many people will I see there? Anybody? Anybody? All right, who's going
I
to?
am. I can't raise my hand, but I'll be there, Marianne.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Me too. Oh, there's Tommy.
Yay.
All right, let me spotlight you. Look. You're on the big screen. Oh, no, you
All right, everybody. Good evening.
There.
How's everybody doing? I hope happy and snappy and looking beautiful. I can't hear you, Marianne.
I wasn't talking. I was just shaking. I was just saying. All right.
Okay, who did I look at Alan Deckert, man. He looks like he's flying an F-16, man. That's pretty cool.
Well, I'm
This is a
7
great
years
night.
Air Force.
All right, that's maybe.
7 years. I'm a Vietnam veteran.
I believe that. You look like it. 70
Yeah.
years old.
I've been to Longmont before.
You're a smart man.
Yeah.
I'm doing an air show here on June 23rd, and I'm the MC for the air show. And the astronaut Vance Brand is going to be our keynote speaker. So anybody that can come to Colorado for that, you'd be absolutely in tall cotton.
Well, be coming to America back in September. First time in 9 years.
Where are you now?
Philippines.
Oh my goodness gracious! You are out of your mind. What time is it? Is it the middle of the night or the middle of the morning?
No. It's about almost going on 7 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Well, good. You eat your post toasties and let's get this show on the road. Mute everybody, Marianne.
Okay.
Look at old George Maitland, man. 30 pounds down in a month. He looks like a hockey stick. Actually, very cute. Congratulations, George, on all that weight loss. Now take that testimony and go monetize that testimony. That's the name of the game. And that's every one of you guys. That's you, John Clark. That is you, Jerry Aitken. You guys should see Jerry Aitken. If you got a camera, Jerry, make sure you unmute. The guy's down over 275 pounds. You're not going to believe it when you see him. He's not. He's never weighed more than 100 pounds in his life. He hasn't lost any weight. I'm telling you, that was a lie. Why would you possibly believe me? Nothing I ever tell you is a fact. I promise you. Okay, we have a new graduate in 65 and a wake up. You guys all know that Lori did that today. That's really big news. I'm going to get on a conference call with her and everybody tomorrow and talk about the coffee shop interviews that she did and how to take the touches of those people that she's got and turn those people into touches that turn into follow-ups, that turn into sales of product, that turn into business builders. And that's the name of the game. Why you are doing this, I mean, it is wonderful. And I'm going to bring a few people on to talk about the byproduct of the coffee shop interview. But the magic is because you get so much from it. You end up really you find out how easy it is to get out of yourself and into other people. And it really improves your relationships because you're doing a lot more listening than you are talking, and you're becoming a better human being, which is really, really cool, whether you're in the Philippines, whether you're in the United States, wherever you are. So that is really cool stuff. But the real crux of this thing, and what I want to emphasize to every one of you, is how important it is that you really understand why you're doing it. And why you're doing it is to become a tour guide and a talent scout. By that, I mean, as a tour guide, you are dropping people right off where they want to be. So if they want to buy the product, God bless them, love them to death. If they don't want to buy the product, God bless them, love them to death. Drop them off where they want to be versus you trying to push the pig through the python snake. Because when you're pushing that pig through the python snake, you're basically trying to talk people into doing things. And I talk people into doing things all the time. And it works like a charm because I'm a good talker intoer. I can do that. But the bad news about that is the minute anybody that I talk into doing something is out of my sight, that whole thing is gone and they're back to their life. So talking people into things is a terrible idea. Selling people things is a terrible idea. Enrolling them into the possibility of their greatness is a wonderful idea. The difference between enrollment and the difference between sales is night and day. The sale stops at the transaction. Enrollment begins at the transaction. And that's why I'm begging you so much to complete the interview process. In my case, people want to do business with me because I've been doing this for a long time. So they want to enroll in a hurry. But whether it was Chantel, whether it was Doug Coe, whether it was any one of you people, the interview process got completed. It got completed. We went from A to Z. My job is to know your blood type and to know you inside and out. And for most of you, you saw on 65 and a way up. Hang on a second. I got to see what Doug's comment was. The interview process. How you know it's time? Yeah. I know you guys A to Z. I know my prospects A to Z. And until I know their why, until I know what pops their eyes open at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm just another salesman. But my job is to figure out what's missing in people's lives and then help them get it. Yesterday, I'm driving over to the new house. There's a car on the side of the road, and it said fruits and vegetables in one delicious gummy. And I drive by this old beat-up van, and this guy's sitting in the van, and I look at him, and he looks like he's like this. And so I rolled down my window and said, "What's this all about?" And he said, "Man alive, this is really great stuff. I'm helping my sister out because business is good. I'm a realtor in Detroit, Michigan, and I want to come here and be a realtor here. My sister owns a dental eye care place." I go, "Are you passionate about these veggies?" He goes, "No, I hate this job." And I go, "I think I love you." And I go, "What day is it?" And he said, "It's April the 9th. I go, "You need to write that in your day timer." I was on the phone with a guy trying to buy a car, a guy named John Boyd. I was trying to buy Dominic a car. And so I put him on hold. Well, I didn't even put him on hold. I made Boyd listen to the whole nauseating conversation. I said, "You write down the day, sir." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because this is going to be the best day of your life. Give me your name and your phone number. I know you want to live in Colorado. I know you want to, I know you want to sell real estate, but I really don't want to think, I don't think you really want to. I think you want to own real estate. And I know you don't want to do this. and I might be the most important guy you've ever met in your life. And I said that to him point blank. Correct? Just got a note from him a little while ago. He said, that was an unbelievable conversation we had. Can we get together tomorrow? Why? Because I cared so much about him. I was so interested in him. I could tell when I saw him that he had some game. And I am a tour guide and a talent scout. I saw talent there, and I want to help develop that guy. Does that make sense to you? Some people I see sick. I see them with all kinds of diseases. I see them with all kinds of problems, and I'm gonna drop them where they want to be. You guys know I go to an AA meeting every day. I drop a lot of people off at Alcoholics Anonymous and never talk about anything except not having a drink today. My job is to drop people off where they are the best served in the universe. That's my job. So the interview process looks like this. You keep going back to them and reminding them what they told you in the interview. I'm going to go back to this guy right here. This guy, I'm going to tell you, I looked at, as a matter of fact, let me just take a quick look here, because I guarantee you, Mike Goody. There's this picture. I don't know if it'll pop up because I'm using this new app called Contact Mapping. And there it is. It was right there across the top row because I talked to him today. So it's right there populated. So it's going to tell me tonight, you interacted with Mike Goody today. Do you want to add an additional note or a follow-up? And I'll say, heck yes, I do. I'm going to go see this guy tomorrow. But the point I'm trying to make to you is you can see him right there. You can see his cute little picture. It was funnier than heck. He goes, all right, I'll see you later, man. And I go, wait 1 minute. And I turn around and I snapped a picture of him. And he said, what was that? And I said, man, I want to remember you. And he said, thank you. And in the picture, he's smiling ear to ear. You want me to look it up so you can tell? Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. I'm crazy, but I'm crazy in love. I'm crazy engaged. I'm crazy enrolled. Does that make sense to you? And you don't have to be me. My vibe is not your vibe. Several of you on here are going, I could never do that. I don't want you to do that. I want you to be your best you. Cool enough? Hang on a second. I got to find this guy's picture so you know I'm not conning you. There he is. There he is. You can see him through the window. Look how cute he is. That's right through the window of my car. And he's like, it's hilarious. The poor guy's going, who is this nut? And I don't know. But that's what I do. It is the enrollment process then is, and everybody that George, I'm flabbergasted by your face. You've lost 30 pounds in your face. You look great. But at the end of the day here, the enrollment process, I use with leaders the presumptive close. And I do that. I did that with a couple of guys I talked to with you, Doug. I act like we're already all in business together. I'm already making big plans. I'm like saying, we got to take this thing on. We got to take this to the next level. I've got to get your kids that have the Fragile Z under control. I've got to get you away from that law firm you hate. I've got to get you a job that you are passionate about where you can speak from stages and you can take people's lives on. How long ago was that, Doug? A week? Yeah, and you know that I remembered everything about that guy a week later because I take these interviews. You guys can all ask me almost anything about anybody. I take these interviews that seriously. I have got to know your prospect inside and out. And one thing that's important, we got to go to the next page because I want to see who else here. Oh my gosh, you guys are doing so great. I love it. Knowing these people inside and out is critical. And the most important part, and almost all of you, I don't know if Jennifer Saltzman's on here. If she is, I need her. One of the most important things is the interview. The second most important thing is the introduction of your prospect. The third and most important thing is the introduction of me or your third-party expert. That's the most important part. Then the third-party expert speaks into the coffee shop interview, and the third-party expert edifies the heck out of you. End of story. Okay, so Tamara is here. You got a relationship. You've touched them. You've loved them. They think you are all of it in a bag of chips. You're calling them back on the phone. They have got an issue. They've got an issue with time or with money. And you say to them, you know what? I work with Adrian Chenault, and I want you to meet this guy. He was in Zurich, Switzerland. He was in a similar place. He was in a job that he didn't love with all of his heart. He was making a good living, but he wasn't seeing his family. He needed time. This guy didn't have financial poverty like most people. He had time poverty. He had serenity poverty. And this guy decided to do something about it. And I am telling you, I was talking to him about you, and he said he wants to talk to you because he thinks you guys have something in common. That powerful about what this guy gets. Does that make sense to everybody? Anybody got a question? It is so natural. You've got to fight. I am telling you, and I've done this a million times. Claire Kelway Bergman will tell you the same thing. I find anything that I can Google, I try not to know. Because I don't have, my brain's not that large, and my heart really is. So you thought it was my stomach. My heart. I was talking about my heart, you mean people. So the name of the game is stop being the smartest person in the room. We have too many of those in Washington, D.C. especially. We need kind, nice people. That's who's going to be remembered. Ask Jenna, my wonderful hair. Doesn't my hair look nice? There's Jenna. She cut my hair today, chopped it all off, made me comb it, did all kinds of stuff. It was a terrific time. It was beautiful. I heard all about her, where she found her boyfriend. I won't tell you that. It was pretty funny, and it was a great day. So the name of the game. Who's got a question? Anybody got a question? You have to remember what you're up to. You have to remember what you're up to. And what you're up to yourself is becoming a brick. If you aren't a brick yet, you've got to become a brick. And some of you are saying, what is a brick? And if I were to ask John Clark would say, Tom, a brick is very simple. All you need to do is do 200 yourself. You have to have 3 people underneath you on your top line doing 100 a piece. And you have to have 1,000 QV, not BV, but I wish it was BV because then I know how much money you were making. That's a brick. So that's the foundation rank of longevity. Anybody can be a brick. John Clark can be a brick. George Maitland can be a brick. James Earl Moore can be a brick. Ruth Ellen Sanchez can be a brick. Every one of you can be a brick. And every one of you that have built yourself to be a brick, where you went out and you did 200 yourself, you found 3 people doing 100 apiece, and you built 1,000 in your first 3 levels. Once you know you can do it, you know you can do it 4 times. So you need to take 4 people and do the same thing with them. You need to in the foxhole with them and teach people to make bricks. And if you make 4 bricks, you know darn well that you can teach people to make bricks. And that's all this becomes, is you become this massive bricklayer, brick maker, bricklayer, and all of a sudden you built yourself a foundation in your business that nobody's got, that won't fall apart. All of you can do this. If every one of you build your organization like this, 6 levels deep, 5 levels deep, even 4 levels deep, of nothing but brick rank, do the math on that. Just do the math on that. You can't. You'd be calling me saying, Tom, I'm ordering a house. I am telling you, you want to drive, this is 200 QV, so it's probably going to be 150 BV. You drive those 4 people down just 5 levels, just those leader bricks, you're going to be making $12,000 a month. That is a lot of money. You're only getting customers because you're only talking about product. That's why you're only getting customers. So you have got to have that powerful conversation about business. You are familiar with the customers. You are good at the customers. You're good at the product. Everybody knows you're good at the product. You've identified and branded yourself as a great product person. Everybody thinks you're Mother Teresa, but guess what? There are more components than that, Tamara, to this whole deal, and that is called money, time, and health. And you are fixated on the health. You're only getting customers and you're saying, what the heck is going on? You are not completing the interview process and you're saying, it's breaking down. No, you've got to complete the interview process and you have to trust it. That's all you have to do is trust it. People are going to be flipped out. Oh my gosh, you want to hear another story? And I can call this guy. This was genius. So, if I say so myself. So here we go. This morning, Adrian's got this new app called Contact Mapping, right? And so he's got me testing it. And I am testing it like a black belt in karate. It is, I'm in love with it. It's made me so much more efficient, but I'm in my database. And I've got how many people in my, over 10,000 people in my database. And in my database, I love my job, George. In my database, I've got over 10,000 people, and some of them I don't know. So he's got this thing rigged, so some of these names are popping up, and I'm taking it personally that they're popping it up for follow-up, and I don't know who they are. So this morning, Denise is buying Dominic a car. I have to grab this car. Are you guys an owner?
I'm sorry, I cannot, they need a copy of car insurance. And I've been looking high and low in this Jeep and I cannot find a copy of car insurance.
Okay, Marianne will, Marianne, do you have a copy of car insurance for Denise, some sort, any of the cars? All right, if we can't find it, sorry. Call Hasmeyer. I'll give you, I'm gonna send you Hasmeyer's call number right now.
All right.
Sorry, okay. Marianne, send Denise Hasmeyer's phone number. See, did you hear me say I will do it and then Marianne does it? Anyway, back to training. I want to show you this guy. Okay, so this guy is in my database. So I have no idea who he was. So I asked Emily Kelly at the coffee shop who Sean Meyer was. That's what I did. And she says, I don't know who he is. I says, I think he's a realtor that comes in here. She says, okay. So I text Sean, Tom Chenault. Someone said something great about you behind your back today. No need to call me back. I just thought you should know it. Hope business is great. Love to chat with you one day. Well, thanks, Tom. That was really nice of you to share. I feel blessed. Who was it? I told him, Emily Kelly. He just wrote me a note. When can we get together to have a cup of coffee and see if we can share some business ideas? Boom. That was a complete, total blind guy in my phone. And how many people do you, and most of you don't put people phone in your phone all the time, but I put people in my phone all the time, but sometimes I don't map them because I'm an idiot. And that's what, oh my gosh. Hello.
He won't answer my call.
Okay, well, text him and he'll call you right back, Denise. So Marianne's on it right now too, I promise you. I love you with all
I'm
my.
looking through the folders right now, see if I can help you.
She's looking through the folders right now, and if not, I'll run out to the Tesla and I'll have Denise tell a joke. So don't worry about a thing. We love you.
Okay, I got.
Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry. It's tough being married. It's tough having all this responsibility. So I know you can feel my pain, Linda Tyler. Okay, so anybody else got a question? Does that make sense, Doug Coe? Are you frustrated? Are you? Am I talking about what you need? I've got to get you guys action. I've got to get making sales. I've got to get making follow-ups. I've got to get you CEO pack. I've got to get these people auto ship. I've got to get you guys rank advancing. I've got to keep you ranked at your highest rank. That's what I have to do, Tom Chenault. That's my job. That's my responsibility. That's what I'm committed to. So my latest rant is this, and I want you to know this, like no kidding. I think a lot of us are paralyzed. I was thinking, Adrian, and you know that's what I was doing. Because Adrian's mocking me on his camera, so don't you guys think that he's all this polite little kid, because I watched him right then. So here's the deal. I was thinking about the right way to say this where I'm congruent with the company message. We've been around for 20 years talking about 90 for Life and Dr. Joel Wallach and the Dead Doctors Don't Lie tape and the colloidal minerals and tied to the vitamins. That's our main message. Now we've got all these different messages coming in, whether it's Nature's Pearl, whatever it is. It's my supposition that if we can bring people in with a CEO pack that has the 90 for Life in it, and whatever you love, I know some of you love the Z Radical. I know some of you love this. I know some of you love that. I don't have any problem tying those to that. But using that congruent message, so there is no confusion ever about who we are or what we do. We are 90 for Life. We are Dr. Joel Wallach. We are one dream, one team. I think that is going to help every one of us support each other. That's what I believe. And once people get in, and just exactly like you, Doug Coe, when I sent you the vitamins and minerals, just exactly like you, every one of you that I sent, I mean, that with Claire Calway Bergman, whoever it is, it started there. Because that's our common denominator. Because when you're telling people, in my humble opinion, that they get to look at 7 different verticals and go choose what they're going to go buy, and they've got to go look at the oils, they've got to go look at the coffee, they've got to go look at David Allen Capital, they've got to go look at the scrapbooking. By the time they go through all that stuff, they are so confused and so paralyzed they don't start. And I am begging you to follow me through this. If we just walk in with a mega CEO pack that has the 90 for Life in it, tell that story that gets them beyond the wall, then they can go mess around in there. When they've got the CEO pack, they're having a product experience, they're on auto ship. I think we kill it, don't you? Ariaza does that with the True to Life tied to the CEO pack he uses. Everybody's doing that. We need to do that. This little collective group called 65 and a Wake Up, all rock stars. This collective group called this Zoom right here, all rock stars, need to lead our way in the door with that. Anybody allergic to that premise? And if you are, speak it up because I need to know it. Especially you, Emily. Don't you be raising your hand. I'm watching you. She's about 14, that kid. She's on that Angel. So the name of the game is, here's what I want for you. I want you interviewing. I want you documenting. I want you to have touch points. I want you to follow up on those touch points on what's in it for them. I want you to drop them off where they want to be. I want you to grab the leaders, and I want you to put the leaders into your leadership category on Trello or inside of the app that Adrian's got for you. And then I want you to get on a 3-way call with somebody else to explain why this is the absolute best company on the planet for them. That's all this is. And then repeat it. Is that enough of a system? Is that enough of a culture? Is that something that everybody can do? Or is that still too confusing? I'm going to say it again. You interview. You document. You find the touch points. You follow up on those touch points with what's in it for them. You drop them off where they want to be. Nothing's worse. Nothing's worse than people not. Here's what I've got a lot of. A lot of people that try to get mad at them up and going crazy. So when they're looking at me, they're playing like they're awake, but as soon as they're out of my sight, they're back asleep again. And everybody got ripped off. So what you want to do is figure out a system in order to distinguish who's sleepwalking and the ones that are really walking. Because you can't waste your time filling up leaky tires. I want you to find those 4 people that are more committed to success than you are. And every one of you can do it. I watched Lorene Williamson, who, by the way, right now is drinking a big glass of vodka, do an unbelievable job in Brandon, Mississippi this weekend. And we talked about her leader legs. We went through her leader legs. It was really cool. There's a guy out there named Vincent Tillis, really, really good guy, was all ramped up, decided that he didn't like the way that Lorene was leading and he wanted to have samples and all this jazz. And she said, that's great. I love you, Vincent, but I'm playing basketball, I'm doing what Tom's doing. You want to bring a football onto the basketball court. That's jacking things up. I need you to go out there and play football on the football field while we play basketball in here. But anybody on your team, I'm bouncing a basketball right there. Anybody on your team that wants to continue to play basketball with me is welcome. And this guy with 2 Super Bowl rings named something decided that Lawrence, mouth it.
Lawrence Pillars.
Okay, good. Lawrence decided that 2 Super Bowl rings. He wants to play basketball. He and his wife want to play basketball. He had a product experience, and now they want to tell the world and want to do the business Lorene's way. And that's why you want to have a lane that they can jump into, because they're going to drift out there, Rock Rice. They're going to go out there and do other stuff, and they're going to think that they got a better system. But it all goes back to what Dexter Yeager taught us all. It all goes back to the Amway Corporation of doing a system consistently over time. And these steps are all it takes to do just that over and over and over again. People are going to try to bring in distractions all the time because it's a wonderful idea. And they don't understand that bringing in those distractions might be a wonderful idea and they might add a lot, but for the majority, it just adds confusion. So the name of the game, until you make like a 3-star, don't add any distractions. Make that rule with yourself and make it for your team. So instead of hearing all those whiz bangs say, that's an unbelievable idea. As soon as you make 3-star, I'm sure they're going to want to hear it. And that way you're going to really, really clear out people that are always coming up with all this other stuff. So yeah, I probably do need a different agent. Robert Estes, if you're an auto guy, you ought to call Denise right now and just sign up and have her do it. Call her right now. 72. Put Denise's phone number there. Text her, Robert here. Tell her you can write a binder on that new car we just got, Dominic. All right, so. I'm sorry, I've got all the things. Okay, so Jennifer? Okay, Jennifer, unmute Jennifer. She was my last 3-way call.
She's unmuted.
Jennifer, how are you?
Hi, Tom. I'm great.
Talk to these people about what happened the other day.
How did my video go? Okay. The other day was awesome. So I had a gentleman who was clearly interested in knowing about the business. He had actually asked me how he can join our network marketing company, and I interviewed him. And then I had another follow-up call with him, and I told him I'd like to introduce him to somebody. He was asking questions like, are you going to be able to tell me exactly what I can do, what I need to do? Are you going to be able to give me a blueprint? And so I emailed Tom my interview with him, and I let him know that those were his concerns via email. He had asked these questions. And then we got on the phone, and Tom was just, I mean, really, you are so good at this. I was completely blown away. I mean, it was way better than I even thought it was going to be. And so, you addressed his concerns that his own personal health crises in his life, you touched on that. You encouraged him. You found common ground with him. And he wants to get started. So, and you told him that he needed to buy a CEO pack, and I really appreciated that. And that's what he's planning on doing. And so we're touching base again this week, and hopefully it's a go. And, you let him know he could do it. And you didn't tell him it was going to be quick. You told him it could be 10 years before he's able to retire, but what's his current job going to, offer him if he stays where he's at? And I could not have asked for it to go better. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. Okay. So, and the magic of it was not anything to do with me. Any one of you. No. Any one of you, mute her because she's arguing with me. Any one of you could have done that interview. Because that 3-way call. Because I had the guy's blood type. And I have trained and developed myself to jump into that guy's shoes and tell him what in longevity, with truth and integrity, is going to solve the problem that he's got in his life. That's it. That's all I do all day long. That's my job all day long. And it's not hard. Every one of you can be as effective as me on a three-way call. I am nothing special. The only thing I do that is special is I take your three-way calls, life and death, seriously. Because I know it takes great courage for you to trust me with one of your friends. And Doug Coe, don't you lie. You were freaking out that, because we had a problem with Doug Coe's guy, because he was this big shot attorney with kids, and there was a big story there with a big income, and bridging that conversation from wanting to be a public speaker into the network marketing space wasn't that, Doug was a lot more nervous about that than he wanted to admit, but it worked out fine because, when I always swore, and this is the truth, I always swore, and this happened when I was a stockbroker, and I quit drinking, that if I had a choice between being a network marketer or a Martian, I would have asked you what the weather was like on Mars. Right? Now, on the second front of that, I opened up the newspaper, and the piece of paper fell out, and it said unlimited income opportunity, no credit check, no background check. Call Eric and Roxanne McKelvey. And I called them on the phone, and I said, what is this? They said multi-level marketing. I said, I'll be right over. I said, what do I need to do to get started? They said, you need to buy 5 skincare kits at $125 a piece, which is whatever that is. And I said, I'll be right back. They said, where are you going? I said, where do you think I'm going? I got to go rob a 7-Eleven. I need $600. And that's about how it was, because they created the desire. They didn't create the desire. My circumstance created the desire. I had to go do it. I had no other choice. Those are the people I'm looking for. Those are the people looking for me. Does that make sense to you? And the only thing that wasn't true about that whole tall tale right there was the 7-Eleven part. Everything else was true. I was ready. You couldn't stop me when I was ready. You couldn't get me into this with a crowbar when I wasn't. Does that make sense? But you guys are all trying to crowbar people. Look for people looking for you. Do enough of an interview that you are there when that crack in the wall happens, that you happen to be the perfect plug. True story. I am not wrong. Thank you, Peggy. Yeah, well, you're talking to too many people. You're probably talking too much and not listening enough. You got to get into their hearts and not their heads. You've got to be this friend that is the solution, not just this, talk to, this is the score. And one thing I hate about the scorecard, Mark Yarnell was probably the first one that said this. You need to talk to everybody within 3 feet of you. And if you make 300 dials a day, you're going to probably be successful. And here you have this old dinosaur who's done pretty well in his life named Tom Chenault, who's asking you to have 2 powerful calls a day and you're going to be pretty successful. So I'm asking you how many people, I see so many people I see today. So save yourself 298 superficial calls, 298 robocalls. Tell your face how much fun you're having here, Tamara. I feel, there you go, thank you. It's very hard looking at you, thinking you are hating me. So now we're doing better, thank you very much. And that's what we do. So, yeah. Okay, so the conversation about transition is also, and Adrian can speak to this, it's called The Speed of Trust. And The Speed of Trust is a book by Stephen Covey. And the way that you take anybody where you want to go, or where that, into that conversation, is they need to trust you. They need to know. So you're going to say to them, I know these products are expensive. I know you love these products, but you just don't. And then you're going to say, you could make some money. And I am really, really building a team. And I would love to have you on that team, and you need to trust me. And you need to mean it. Adrian, talk about trust and that speed of trust and where that came up from you. Because I'm telling you, that authentic conversation around trust, you trust them, they trust you, and you earning them trust. You know, most of us think we deserve things, but we don't think we have to earn things. We've got to earn trust. And that trust earning is also in the coffee shop interview and the follow-up afterward. So, Adrian, talk about that a little bit, will you?
Yeah, sure. I forgive my froggy voice. We'll see how this goes. I sound like Claire a couple months ago, wherever she is. There she is down there. So here's how you think about it, right? If somebody this goes back to one of the things that Dad says all the time. If somebody wants to be a customer and you try to turn them into a business builder when they want to be a customer, it's not going to work. If somebody wants to be a customer and then they fall in love with the products and then they start making noises about that they have something going on in their business life, or these products are expensive and I really like them but I can't afford them, or whatever it is, number one, you have gained their trust by not trying to take them in the first instance to a place that they didn't want to go, which is that they didn't want to build a business because they were scared of it or they hit MLM or whatever that is. And so you didn't force them down a path they didn't want. And so you gain their trust. And then when it shifts for them and the timing is different or the pressures are different or whatever it is that's going on that's different, now you have a new opportunity to introduce the business side of the equation, but you're able to do it more powerfully for two reasons. One, now they want to hear it. And two, you've had that time and that track record of working with them with them as your customer, that they have a better listening, they have a better understanding, they have all these other things going on for them now that weren't the case however many months ago when they first got on the products. So everything is lined up so much better. But if you don't allow that trust to build, if you don't allow them to come in at the speed that they want to, then you're going to burn them, because there's tons of people out there that have all sorts of hangups about this business that have, there's a ton of different reasons why somebody might not want to do this ever, or just might not want to do it right now. But whether that makes any sense to you or not, it's 100, and you have to live.
Yeah, that makes sense for anybody. Got a question about it? And another thing you need to remember is I've got all this credibility, supposedly, which I really don't, but I'm, when you, man, my hair looks nice. I just got on the big screen. You've got all this credibility, you think, but I know that Jennifer Saltzman, I didn't know me from a man. He didn't from the Man in the Moon. He knew I had credibility because Jennifer told him, but he didn't trust me. He knew I had credibility. Trust is on you. You've earned and developed their trust in the conversation from the coffee shop interview. And that trust is going to come from you doing what you said you were going to do, probably before you said you were going to do it. So you're establishing a deep relationship. I've watched Peggy Gleason do it with Hanny Sai. I've watched people do it with their ears. And one thing that we want to do is remember that if you take a look at John Clark, here's John Clark. He has business. He drives to Colorado. He's not engaged in it. But she trusted John. Once she trusted John, got hooked up with Adrian, who had the credibility. And now the rest is history. She's out there and they can't shut up talking about these products. She's turned into a machine for us because she's engaged in business because of all the components that had to be in place for it to happen. She had a product experience, that's one thing. But she had to have those other things in order to take it to the next level. And then John had a powerful conversation saying you need to get to Adrian and history. And that's how this goes. Make sense? How come everybody tells Adrian how eloquent he is? It just makes me so jealous of my own son. It's unbelievable. Okay, what's next? Anybody got a question? Raise hands, anything. Have you guys ever played LCS? Anybody heard the game called LCS? Marianne has. Has anybody else ever? Oh, no. Jennifer, you might have. This is the funnest game that we played the other night. And I said, who wants to play LCS? And everybody.
Or not.
No. And everybody, Alan. So here's the deal. LCS, the name called LCS is let's call somebody. So that means at the meeting the other night, everybody that agreed to play LCS, I made them pick a number out of their phone and we called them. And because we're all so afraid to call. And Marianne called, and I even gave people time to think about it. Marianne called this guy named Steve. Steve is a guy next door that owns the mortgage company. His wife passed away about 1.5 years ago. Sweetheart of a guy. He's 1 year ago. He's got an office. Never again. We're talking facts versus Tom. Okay, so whatever it is, he's got a mortgage company next door that his wife ran and owned. Now he went and got the mortgage license. He's got no clue on how to do it. He's got all these customers. You can tell he's a fish out of water. And so Marianne called him and we interviewed him. And the next day he's in the office and we had a great, powerful conversation with him about being unmute, Mary.
Hello.
And what was magic about that is the guy started crying 3 times in the conversation, didn't he?
He did.
Because somebody gave a rat's about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just saw him at a fundraiser Sunday. I ran over, I hugged him. He's not going to get in longevity today. He's not going to get in longevity, not tomorrow. But I'll tell you when he's going to get in longevity is when there's a crack in the wall, Doug Coe. When that thing opens up like this and you can drive a truck through this opportunity called multi-level marketing and longevity, when he's got no place to turn in the middle of the night and he's going, this mortgage isn't working. I hate this. I don't like loans. I don't like the paperwork. I don't like the people. I don't like anything about it. What can I do? Tears running down his face. His eyes popping back up. He's going, God, give me an answer. He looks up and there's a picture of Marianne Niehaus. And he says, I'm going to call her. That's what happens. Because she developed relationship. Because she developed trust. She developed credibility. She brought me over to give the final spiel. But I had nothing to do with it. Does that make sense to you guys? I don't know. Oh, update on the crazy waiter? What?
Jennifer had her hand up again. Did you want to say something, Jennifer? What's that?
It depends if he's going to make a phone call. Otherwise, I did. But if you want to,
No, talk. I'm just killing time.
Well, I wanted to share. I've been struggling quite a bit about not missing opportunities to share about the business. And I work with a lot of people, and I have for years on the health end. But I just want to say thank you, Tom, because I've been bringing to the conversation in what feels like a fairly or loving way that they can join us like this or they can join us like that. And I've been doing that from the beginning now a little bit more consistently because I found that I have a fairly large organization of customers, that if I don't do that, I kind of lose track of them and they may not really get it. That's so I've decided to make that a part of my, with my interview and everything like that, but that I'm not afraid to let them know. And I feel it out. Like if there's a wall that goes up as soon as I mention that, and I don't use the word network marketing, I use, marketing and, things like that. And I've been just doing that more. And what I like about that is that people are actually coming back more than they have before when I'm doing that in the beginning with people that they want to share with, even though when I say, do you want to join my team or do you want to do some more training? No, the wall goes up. But still, I've planted the seed and I just stop immediately if I feel any resistance. But I've been more comfortable with letting people know that this is the way we roll and we've got this amazing community and trying to make that part of the whole thing that's not just about our life, but it's the lifestyle. I'm really trying to work on presenting that more and more. And it seems to be helping. So thank you, Tom, for your coaching. And just wanted to share that with the group.
Okay, once you get a customer in, and once you understand and you size them, I don't care if it's a customer, I don't care what it is. because they become your customer and you know them. You know they're buying product. You can kind of tell what their money looks like. You can tell what their life looks like. There's a lot of tells there. And the name of the game is don't be so arrogant as to stop at customer. Be that contribution that says, you know what, I know these products are a struggle for you to pay for every month. I have an idea to maybe have you get them for free. I have a training program, and use this Zoom right here, if you have to, as your training program. And the leaders come into the program, the training program, and they come in through something called a Mega CEO Pack because it turns on all the commissions. So I am telling you, as a guy that is experienced in this business, to lead with the Mega CEO Pack. I am telling you that. Not because not because of a bunch of the flat out reason for it is because it becomes worth your time. I want you guys to get paid for all this hard work. And if you bring somebody in with a Mega CEO Pack, they're a little more pot qualified, number one. Number two, you're making a lot of money out of the gate. Number three, that coding could turn into some serious money for you. Everything about that is a good idea. So don't let, that whole back them in through, sign up for 0, then come in for 25 and work your way up to a CEO Pack. That's an approach. But I'm praying that you use that as the last approach. The first approach is interview them. If they've got that business builder capability, bring them in as a business builder. Okay, so somebody just asked me on a private message for some reason, I don't know why it wasn't public, about the crazy waiter. And we just 5 seconds ago, we were and he's crazy. And we have no idea what's going to come out of his mouth. But I have no fear. None whatsoever. So if you would like me to call crazy waiter number 1, I'd be happy to do it right now. Anybody nodding? I don't even need a nod. I'm closing my eyes. I've decided to do it. Here he is. And if you knew what was really behind the scenes here in this story, you'd really, Helen Adrian would tell you that I think I got everybody in that restaurant fired. Oh, pick up.
Leave a message.
Mike, it's Tom Chenault. You were at my office. That's a terrible message. We got to change that message. It depresses me just listening to it. And you are not a depressing guy, but here's the deal. I went by the restaurant. They've turned over the whole staff, so they must have listened to your suggestion and your advice that they were poorly managed, and they just switched everybody out. I don't know if you're working there anymore after your hernia problem, but I do know that you are a rock star, and I hope that you will bring my books back. I hope you'll come by my office, and I hope you'll give me an update on your life because you are one special human being. Give me a call. Okay. That's that simple. So we'll see what he does. And if he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Because I don't get attached to outcomes. That's just another follow-up on top of a follow-up on top of a follow-up. And by the way, I always give people books when I see them and tell them I want them back. Why is that? So I can get a quiz. So I can give them a quiz. So I can make them, so I have a reason to call them back. I want my books back. The whole thing's beautiful. So even if it's a Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD or whatever, try to get them to come back. You want to continue that dialogue. Because I'll tell you what, you go to a meeting like that with me, and then you walk out of there on cloud 9, and then you go back to your miserable life, and you forget about that meeting. But all you do is get a call because of the contact mapping app. I've got him dialed in to call once a week, Doug. So he's going to get a call until he tells me not to call anymore. Because that guy could do this. That guy could do this. I see greatness in that guy. So until he tells me to back off, I won't back off. I'll call him once a week. And I have a short list of people that I feel that way about. But that guy's got to feel loved. He's got to feel cared about. He's got to feel like somebody out there is really looking out for him. And he's gonna feel like it's me sooner or later. Anybody else got an idea? Anybody else want me to do anything? Yeah, Alan. It's the guy from Philippines. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got some questions. I was in Longevity 3 years ago, and they closed the office here because of corruption. I just ordered a CEO pack, and then they shut me out the next month. So I've been waiting for them to reopen. They got reopened last August.
Okay.
But we have only 7 products. And also, I don't know what the problem is. We can't seem to get access to all the products and everything. But also, I have a big question about the downlines. I come in underneath, just some prominent person here. I don't want to use names, but that person was kind of a professional in another field, and he farmed out everybody who joined under him to his downline.
Okay.
Well, I never got contact from anybody.
Okay.
And also, just from my own understanding, I'm making money for everybody 8 levels ahead of me.
Okay.
But none of them ever contact me. What's
Okay.
wrong with you people?
Okay. Whoa. Here's the deal. That's not the call for this call. It's the call for you and I to talk in a few minutes. So Mary,
okay.
It's no problem. Marianne's going to private message you right now with all my contact information. I'm going to solve your problem. I'm going to go figure out. I got Alan Deckert now. I'm going to find out who that hotshot is. If you want to send me a private message of who that is, that'll save me a little aggravation. And people are being paid to support you. That's a fact. But because this is a volunteer army, nobody has to. So calling people and demanding help is a terrible idea because they just go, that's exactly what I'm in network marketing for. You got to love people. You got to love people up. You got to love your upline. Ask Lurleen Williamson. She loves me with all the air in her lungs. That's a joke. And the fact of the matter is you've got to love up and you got to love your organization. And it's just the most beautiful thing about this business because it is predicated on being nice and kind. And that's the most important part. Hello, Daniel. Good to see you. Hello, Maria Pena. Okay, so who's got a question? I'm looking for them. Hello, Robin, Tanner, and Diane. I heard a rumor about you really doing a job on somebody on Marinko was telling me you did a great job on an interview and you got somebody really in there and you're handling it yourself. It's really cool. Yeah, let me look here and see if I got anybody I can call for you. Okay, this is really risky business because that Sean Mayer we just talked about that I blind texted because I found him in my phone. That is as cold a cold call as you can get. But I'm willing to call him and see if I can reestablish a relationship that was never there just to show you. And Adrian will tell you this is hilarious. Because these goofballs realtors that have pictures on their cars and they're driving around all the time, I call those people all the time. And I go, what's happening? You ever heard of network marketing? I just mess with them and they go, why are you calling me? I go, why'd you put your picture and your number on your car if you don't want somebody to call you? That's the most ridiculous thing. All you want, so you don't want to talk to me. You just want to sell me a house. Is that it? Oh, great. I mean, I do that to people. You got to be crazy. Does that make sense? Stop being so nice. Okay, so we're going to call this guy. I'm scared of this. I'm actually nervous right now. Ruth Ellen, you don't have to cover your ears. I'm doing it. Please don't pick up.
Hi, this is Sean. Sorry I missed your call.
So you know I was telling the truth.
and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, Sean, nothing ever happens in the world by mistake. That's my philosophy. So I overheard that conversation for a reason, and you and I are supposed to talk. So give me a jingle. I was over at Red Frog Coffee when I heard it, and you know, when people were saying nice things behind your back, you need to know that. I wish people would call and tell me that, but I'm not sure anybody's ever said anything nice behind my back. So give me a call, 720-840-7222. You know, you're in the real estate business. I do a ton here in Longmont, so I know we've got some common ground and maybe we can do some business together. So thanks a lot for having voicemail. Bye-bye. What else? What else? What else can I say? That's as far as I can go. It's unbelievable. I bet this guy calls back. We've got only 1 minute, so he won't call back in 1 minute. But okay, you want to call one more guy that's been on the products for 100 years and I'm going to browbeat him? You guys want me to? Okay, this is how you don't do it. See who it is, Marianne?
What's up, bud?
Hello, James. How are you?
Fine, how about you?
I appreciate you getting Dominic and Denise handled and all my insurance handled on all my things. And I was thinking about you and the longevity products. How long have you been on them?
12 years.
And what do people say when they see you?
They think I'm 50. I just turned 70.
So you're 70 and they think you're 50.
Yep, and I'm in the top 2% of men between 65 and 70 that can run a 10K in 10 minutes or less.
And Mike, you can run a 10K. No.
I mean, it's 10-minute miles.
Oh, 10-minute miles. I was going to say, that is all an ass. My car won't go that fast. So anyway, that's pretty funny. Okay, so here's
a big thing. I've never taken any medications except for one day when I fell on my bike and they gave me those pain pills and I was such a frickin' zombie, I flushed them down the toilet.
Okay, so when people see you on that bicycle or they see you on the street and they look at you,
mm-hmm.
What do you think they think?
I think they see a very distinguished looking guy.
And do they think they see a healthy guy?
Oh, for sure. I mean, even my old partner told me I've always been in good shape. And there's a gal I met who's 52 years old. She's a friend of a friend. I started talking to her. And
Mousetrap, right now.
And I said, I'll be glad to. I said, do you know how old I am? She goes, 50. I said, no, I'm 70. And she dropped her drink.
Oh, that's better than her shorts. Okay, so here's the question. I understand that.
2005, when I started taking them, I ride bikes and I've been running more, but you know, I'm not overweight. I don't have high blood pressure. When I had my prostate cancer,
yep,
my doctor told me that my physical conditioning had a great deal, my physical health had a great deal to do with how quickly I recovered. And he said, keep taking your nutritional program. That was a big factor.
So here's my question for you.
You with me?
I'm right. Oh, yeah, I am. So here's my question.
Okay.
How is it with all that faith that you never refer me any business?
I don't know how to do it, I guess. I never think about it. I mean, not that I don't want to, Tom. I didn't start thinking about it till actually when I was at this, I met a gal who was born and raised 40 miles from my hometown in Illinois. She's my age. She lives out here, and I went to her 70th. I was kind of her date for her 70th birthday party, and that's where I met her 52-year-old friend, and she's the same way. She has look at day over 50. I don't know what she does, but I don't think about it. You know, I guess what I should do is when people saying, you know, I have a thick head of hair, and that's part of hereditary, but, you know, Tom, I should bring it up more. It could help me out, but I've got two really close friends that are my age. We all hang out together. We're all raised in Illinois, and they see me.
Watch this. Well, I have a great idea.
For my 70th birthday, my one son flew out there, and my other kids took me out, and we went to Top Golf. So when I was at Illinois my freshman year, I was on the golf team, and I was hitting the far fence on the fly.
Wow.
So Brad went up and down getting people to come and watch. So I had a couple shots of Cromwell that helped a little bit. But I guess I don't talk about it. I mean, I don't think about it. Now, one thing I'd say, to be honest with you, Tom, there are proof. Now, granted, I haven't maybe read a lot about longevity, but I have all the faith in the world. However, there is a guy that comes on Home Shopping Network occasionally. I think he's the smartest and crucial man I've ever heard speak. His name is Andrew Lessman. He owns a company called ProCaps Laboratories in Henderson, Nevada. And he's been doing it for 25 years. All of his nutritional products are organic, 100% natural.
Am I going to have to hang up on him now?
Anything. And I do take a couple of his products that I think are really good too. But I think here's my main base. I take the Classic in the morning with EFA Plus and selenium. No, I take the plant-derived minerals in the morning with EFA Plus and selenium. I take plant-derived minerals at night with EFA Plus and selenium. And then his biggest selling product is called Hair, Skin, and Nails. I've been taking that. Then I take my CoQ10 at night. And I do it 5 days a week because I want to give my body a little bit of 2 days to rest. But, Tom, I never get sick.
And I know that. But Hazzy, stay with me for 1 second.
Yeah.
Andrew Lessman doesn't send you a check every month. It's not a network marketing account. But hang on a second.
Okay, I respect his knowledge.
I got it. And keep buying from now. Just don't tell anybody, but do me this favor.
Yeah.
We do a lot of business together. I do far more business with you than you do with me. Just start sending me some business so I can build you some residual income so you can grow up with your grandkids. You look like an absolute model for your age. You look like a 70-year-old senior model. People don't look at you and go, gee, Minnie Christmas, that guy must be an insurance agent. No, they're looking and going, that guy must take nutrition. I want what he's got. You look at him. You don't say genetics. You don't say Andrew Lessman. You say you say 2 words and 2 words only. Call Tom.
I'll do that.
Deal.
I do say I've been on I've been on a product called Longevity. That's what I started with in 05, and I said I've never stopped.
But they can't even spell that. You say, call Tom, or my friend Tom's going to call you, or I'm going to patch a text into him right now. We're going to joint text it, just like I do you when I'm sending you stuff. I love you, Hazzy. I just was thinking about you. I wanted to thank you for taking care of my wife. I know you dropped everything to do it, and you're such a beautiful man. When I see you, I'll kiss you on the lips.
Well, yeah. And here's the thing, Tom. My 2 best friends, you know what they say?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. They're great guys. We all quit farmers at the same time. I have a lot of respect for them. You know what they both, Tom.
He knows I'm muting him.
They're very successful. They're married. They do really well. They're great guys. You know what they tell me when I talk to them about what I do?
What?
They think $100. They think $100 a month is too much.
Of course they do, because you haven't. But that's my job. You can, I don't think I think you're. Well, look at the house insurance. I was screaming at you because you picked my pocket on Mooring Road, and you said, you sent me an email that said, Tom, are you so stupid that you are not going to pay that amount of money to take the risk of having your house burned down? And I said, hell no, I'm going to give you the money because you proved it to me. It was worth it. You've got to let me prove the vitamins are worth it.
I'll do it.
All right, I love you.
And then I'll do is this. I'll just say Tom, and if they say, well, what am I going to call him? I'm going to say because he whole story a lot better than I can.
Hell yes. And if somebody calls on insurance, I'm not going to try to explain annuities and all the jazz. I'm going to say talk to Hasmeyer. Is that fair?
That's fair.
It's a partnership. I love you. I'll talk to you. No, I'm done. Here we go. That's over. How was that? Wasn't that good? Let's call somebody. LCS. Never be afraid. Now, Marianne, unmute.
What?
Did that guy and I have a fight of epic proportion 2 days ago?
Yes.
And
Because I wasn't in the middle of it.
Yes. And here's the deal, you guys. Nobody reads yesterday's newspaper. And if you talk fast enough, they forget they're mad at you. So that guy I've known for many, many years, I've had him. He doesn't even know, because I'm such a terrible salesman, we even have BTT. He's still drinking the classic. That is hilarious. So doesn't my haircut look nice from Jenna?
I think it really does. I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. I just hung up. Hey, Sharon, I just hung up on that guy. That is 100% correct.
Yes, he did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I'll call back and clean it up. But yeah, we were running out. I only had so many quarters. I was going to have to put more quarters in my phone. So that's that simple. Anybody else got any questions? Is this of value? Because I can change this whole format. If it's not helping you, I'm here to have you guys. And remember this. Interview 2. Not 100, Tammy. 3-way 1 of the business builders. Give tools to the other people. The way that you do that is you document. You get touch points. You follow up on the touch points. You figure the perfect arrow in your quiver that your upline or me or somebody to call that person. And that's what you do. And you do 3-way calls with the business builders, and you drop those other people off at a tool. That's all it is, over and over. Everybody, what a day. I love you so much. This is this is so good for me because I show off. Everything about it is perfect for this very fragile ego. So that's that simple. So you guys are serving me far more than I'm serving you. And I love this Zoom thing because I can see your faces. So I can see Sherry Clark, and I can see John Clark, and I can see him in different rooms in the house. It's unbelievable. Everybody have an unbelievable night. See you later. Bye-bye.
See you in a few days. Bye. Bye. Everybody. Bye.